The new Mantis X10 firearms performance system has all the goodness of the original, plus holster draw analysis and recoil analysis. It's a fantastic upgrade and I recommend it highly.
Hey guys, Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant, bringing you the third in our series of videos for new gun owners. And we're going to talk about fundamentals. That really is all there is to shooting. How we approach the gun, how we hold the gun, how we use the sighting system, how we press the trigger to the rear, and how we follow through afterwards. Those are really important things, and they can mean different things to different people. So today I'm going to talk about stance, posture, and grip. This is very important to your shooting. You'll find in your shooting that if you don't have a good stance, you don't have good posture and a good grip, you're going to get a lot of lateral stringing up and down on your targets. Or you'll have a hard time controlling the recoil, or you're constantly trying to push back to center. It bleeds out to one side or another. So let's talk about how these things work. Most of my background is in deep martial arts training, mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu and karate and taekwondo and kickboxing. So I know a little bit about stance and how it's important when we're fighting. We want our feet to point towards the target. This is called our preparatory index. We're getting our body ready to fight. And you want to communicate with your physical presence that your hands and feet are facing towards the front and that you're ready to go. So my stance can be shoulder wide or a little wider, a little narrower. You have to work with it. I would avoid having a foot turned out to the side. Okay? A lot of people tend to do that, and what happens is the gun tends to go this way because there's no resistance there. So we want the feet forward. If the feet are forward, the knees are forward. The knees are going to push the hips under you. Shoulders are going to be in place. Head's going to be in place. We're going to take the core, which is shoulders to knees, and engage it. Now let's talk about the grip. Grip is how we hold the gun. We want to hold it firmly, but we don't want to hold it so hard that we induce tension in our hands. We also don't want to hold it so light that we don't have control over it. Those things have to go together. We have to have a good grip. It's got to be modified. And then, where do our hands go? Okay, we wouldn't want to push a car with our elbows out like this. This is really hard on the tendons and causes tendonitis in a lot of shooters. We want to put the elbows in a natural position. We want to put the shoulders down and the head forward. This allows us to relax. Any extra tension that we hold in shooting will fatigue and wear us and narrow our vision. You'll see a lot of people that their head drives down and their rear end goes out, and then they're looking through the top of their eyebrows here trying to see the target, so they narrowed their vision. It's a lot harder to see. All right, so I've got my feet forward. I got a good stance. Now let's talk about posture. My posture should be slightly forward. Now, the old saying was nose over toes, but unfortunately some people do this. You don't want to bend at the middle. You want to shift your weight forward. Okay? So my hips stay under me, my abs stay engaged, but I lean forward. I'm going to give you 3 drills to build your grip right now. I've got my wonderful VP9 with the long slide here, and I've got it set up. So I've got a train safe disabler in there, and on this gun I have a tap rack train also, so that's good. Everything's super safe with that, so I feel good pointing at the camera. Nothing can go in the barrel, nothing can go in the magazine, and the gun's really set up well now for practice, and I can cycle it back and forth. So in Georgia we use a low ready sometimes because the law allows it. All right. When I'm pointing a gun at somebody, even if I don't shoot them, I've committed a felony, which is aggravated assault. The low ready is a good position where I'm not intending to destroy my target. If we go back to the safety rules, I'm not intending to point the gun at you, but it's a preparatory position. So it's a low ready. I'm off to the side. How we're going to drill this is we're going to make sure we get a really good grip. Okay. We don't want any space in there. We want the hands to really cover it all the way around and have a good position on that. Our thumbs don't matter. There's been a lot of debate whether it should be down, forward, or up, but they're not touching the gun and they're not influencing the gun. So put them in a position where they're comfortable. For me, that's forward. I like to use that position. But different times in my life, I've used thumbs up and thumbs down too. So now it's just a kind of a natural floating off to the side. The left hand has to really grip the gun. You see, I have a magwell on here, and it's not because it helps my reloads, which of course it does. All right, it makes that a lot easier, but it gives a place for my pinky to grip onto and my other hand to get a hold of that gun because I've got pretty big hands. So I need a lot more gun to grip onto. So I've established my grip here. Okay, I got my feet in a good position, my knees are bent, my posture's forward. I'm off to the side just slightly. Okay, now I'm going to bring the gun up and my finger goes to the trigger. Now I'm going to bring the gun off, my finger comes off. So this would be my drive practice. Simply set up a timer, 2 minutes or so, maybe 3 minutes, and just practice this. 2 minutes is a long time to practice this. But it really teaches you good discipline with the trigger finger, and you keep working on your grip, your stance, and your posture. Everything's lined up and forward towards the camera. Now, the next position I would do is what we call a 3 position. I like to use words instead of numbers. I call it the compressed position. Nothing new in that, but I like the word better. And I'm holding the gun in here. Now, this is not a ready position as much as it is an actual firing position. I'm pointing the gun at my target now. If you were inside a double arm's length, both of us stretching our arms out, this would be the position I'd hold the gun at. Okay, if you're further away, then I extend my arms. But if there's any chance of you grabbing the gun, I don't want to be all the way out. So I start right here. This is where I build my grip. Both hands come together here and get a good grip on the gun. Now I'm going to push it straight ahead. As I do so, I'm bringing the sight up to my eye and my finger to the trigger. Now I'm going to bring it back and take that hand off, and I'm going to build the grip again. Finger to the trigger, sight back. This is another thing. I'm going to set up a timer for 2 minutes of this and just work as many reps as I can in 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Doesn't matter. It's up to you how long you do it. Don't give yourself a count though, because you'll spend time worrying about the count. Just set up the timer and then get engrossed in the practice of moving back and forth and building that grip. Okay? That grip should be together here. A lot of new shooters tend to push the gun out and chase it with the other hand. So watch what happens. I get the gun out to the target and then I push it off with the other hand. I want the grip here. I want it secured in case anybody tried to grab it at this point. Or I've got both hands on the gun. Now I worry about the sights and the trigger as it comes up. So this is your compressed position, out and back. Once you get that down, we're going to work from the holster or from a table. Today it'll be the holster for me. So I'm carrying appendix, which means I carry it in the front. Strong side means it's on the side. Okay? There are advantages to this position and several disadvantages too. Same thing on the other side. This works best for me because I can conceal a very large gun in this position. Okay? But I need to be really careful holstering the gun. As Tom Givens says, do it slowly and reluctantly. So I'm going to put it back. I'll push my hips out slightly and I'll work the gun straight down. And I like to look it in and make sure nothing's in there. I'm wearing an undershirt that can get caught up in there, get caught in your trigger. So you need to be really careful. There's no reason to speed holster when we're doing this work. Now I set up another timer, 3 minutes. It's a pretend timer, I know, it's not there. But I would do the same drill for 3 minutes. This is the most crucial part of self-defense for most armed citizens because you've got to get the gun out without flubbing it. So it's concealed. He doesn't know it's there. All right, now I'm going to get the gun out. I'm starting with a hands down position. So I clear the shirt, get the grip right here, and I bring it up to our old friend here, the 3 position, the compressed position, and put the hands together and drive it straight out. If it was from the side, if you notice I moved my foot in because I didn't want to sweep my leg, same thing would happen. I'd bring it up to here, hands would come together, and I'd drive it straight out. So same drill for you guys. Clear the holster, slowly and reluctantly put it away. So, starting with the hands up this time, I clear. Oh. Now I take a second, assess, take my finger off the trigger, bring it back slowly. That's changing gears, slowing me down during my dry practice. Now I put it away slowly and reluctantly. Okay? And draw. Finger off the trigger, gun off the target, bring it back slowly and reluctantly. Look the gun back into the holster. I'm pushing my hips forward a little bit. A great way to practice this is because it's kinesthetic in nature, and that means the feel of your body. Is we, of course, want to verify the sights with our eyes, but if we practice this enough, our hands will automatically go to the target. So we could practice with our eyes closed at some point. Don't shoot with your eyes closed. This is a practice, and it shows you how your preparatory index is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the gun with my eyes closed. Let's see where the gun goes. Does it go right to you in the camera if I'm looking at you, or does it go off to the side a little bit? Okay. All right, so I was off this way a little bit, push the hands over there, so I bring it back to this position. So what does that tell me? All right, something's off here. So I'm going to turn this foot in a little bit. I'm going to get a good, make sure my knees are forward. Now I'm going to line up my shoulders. And I think my shoulder was it was turned a little bit as I did it. So let's see if that makes a difference. Close my eyes. Well, that was a lot better. Went right to the target. Slow it down, finger off the trigger, and bring it back. So that eyes closed can really help you. Put a dot on the wall and draw to it over and over again. Then draw to it with your eyes closed, and you're building this great index of pointing at something, and then you verify what the sights tell you. All right, I'm pointing at it. Sight says it's good. Then I can press the trigger to the rear without disturbing the sights too much and keeping that sight moving. And that's our practice. So dry practice from here. Draw, off, back, slow, look it in the holster. You wouldn't put it in the holster unless the gunfight's truly over and you're safe. And then you want to be careful, because it does count if you were to shoot yourself. And we want to get into good habits as we dry practice, so we're always handling the gun well. So today, we've made sure our stance is good, pointed straight ahead. We made sure that our posture is good. More upright, chin slightly tucked, weight forward. We made sure that our grip is good, that our hands grip, that our elbows stay down, and we take this tension out of the shoulders and we don't drop the head as the gun comes up. All right? And that's going to allow us to have a repeatable point to draw to, and then we can verify that we've actually drawn to the point we have. That's your kinesthetic index. I hope that helps you guys. I really appreciate Active Self-Protection allowing me to teach these videos. It's been a lot of fun talking to you new gun owners. I know all this is very complex. You're the only one that can constantly monitor your progress. So get the camera out like this and take a video of yourself doing it, and you can see if you're improving. Or just pay attention. Why do I have so much tension? Why does the gun always go here? Why does it always go over here? And correct those positions. You can be your best coach if you spend some time with yourself. And no matter what level of shooting you're at, you're constantly assessing, am I doing all the fundamentals correctly? And what we're looking for is something out of the ordinary, something that doesn't fit. And that's what dry practice is about. You can make tremendous progress on the draw stroke in dry practice, and I encourage you guys to do it. I'm Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. You can find us online at thecompletecombatant.com and all our social media on YouTube. I look forward to hearing from you guys if you have any comments, and I also look forward to seeing you guys on the range. Thank you.